Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Raising the New Earth podcast. I'm your host, Noah Dory, and today we are going to take some time to discuss brain health, the importance of personal and collective growth when it comes to brain health. So, when it comes to brain health, that is something that I personally and educationally came across this week. And so I wanted to dive into this topic that is so close to my heart. Now, our brains are absolutely incredible. They're powerful and they're a huge part of what makes us who we are and of what makes us so unique. But just like anything else, they need the right care, the right attention. So, in this episode, I'm going to talk about something that we all face, knowing when to quit something that's draining your energy and knowing when to stick with it and sticking with something that helps us grow mentally or even physically. So I'll be weaving in some of Dr. Daniel Amen's amazing research to help us understand what's really going on in our brain. So let's start by understanding brain health. So I like to think of our brain as the command center of our lives. It controls everything. It controls our thoughts, our emotions, our actions. So, if we want to live our best lives, we have to start by taking care of our brain and our brain's health. From Dr. Daniel Amen's perspective, he has done some groundbreaking work in understanding the brain through SPECT imaging, which if you dive deep into it and you look it up, it shows you how different activities affect our brain's function and how it looks like. So you can tell if someone has been using drugs, how the brain looks like tobacco, alcohol brain. So his research is absolutely a game changer in understanding why some things are good for us and why others can be so harmful. From the exciting perspective of neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to change. This is what's called neuroplasticity. This means that our brains can form new connections and pathways, allowing us to grow, adapt, and even heal. And even in the research of dementia and other brain aspects, we can tell that the brain hasn't been occupied with growth. That means it hasn't been exercised. So just like our muscles need to exercise in order to keep our muscle tone, same goes for our brain. So let's identify energy drainers versus energy gainers. So we've all encountered those things, or even people that just suck the energy right out of us, whether it's a toxic relationship, a job that doesn't fulfill us. For me, recently, it's been a course that I decided to take upon myself that doesn't have to do with my degree, or even habits like scrolling endlessly on social media, having your breakfast while staring at your phone. All these energy drainers can have a serious impact on our brain health. So I've had my share of energy drainers in my life, both people and habits. And you know those ones, these are the situations or relationships that leave you feeling exhausted, depleting, and just not yourself. I actually had a conversation with my dear friend Eileen. She was on my podcast. She's a Reiki healer. And so, as I expressed to her what this added course is doing to my life, I literally used the words, it's sucking the energy out of me, but I don't want to quit. And then we had a conversation about quitting. What am I referring to as quitting may not be quitting. So quitting may be, for me, from my perspective, is not not recognizing the commitment that I have made to myself to finish something that I started. Now you can look at it and say, okay, everything my child starts as a hobby, he or she needs to finish it. My approach is a little bit different. I quit a lot of things when I was little. Uh, there were ballet classes that I just didn't vibe with a teacher. There have been instances of activities that I thought I wanted to take, but then I went to my mom and I said, you know what, I actually don't want to take it. Does that mean that we as parents need to have our child stick to it? I say no because they're still so little and there are things within that environment that may cause them to withdraw. That doesn't mean that they won't try their hand in it again in later years, but that does mean that we have to listen to the child and say, well, they're not vibing with that teacher or they don't like the current environment. So it's not really conducive for them to enjoy it. We had our girls do soccer when they were very, very young. They didn't want to continue it. I, I, I I wouldn't have wanted any parent to say, no, you have to stick to it. They're 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, doesn't matter. But with my personal experience now with myself, I took a course. I actually took a course that demanded more time that I was willing to give. And since it's not going to my degree, which I started 5 years ago in my continuous journey to medical school, I decided after my conversation with my friend to send an email to my professor and say, you know what, I have underestimated the amount of time and energy this course takes. And I realize that I have to commit to what I already started, which is my degree, which is my family. Now, it's not to say that when I go into clinical rotation at a hospital, I won't have my energy drains, but there is a difference. If you feel that you're just tired from doing something that is physically exhausting, it is different than when you're feeling that something or someone is sucking your energy. It's a huge difference. And to me, it was a really growth mindset to say, you know what, I'm going to I'm going to send an email to my professor saying, I am not going to see this course through. This is not for me. This is not what I thought. And you can really feel this vibration in your body, like something is off. It's not the right environment. It is not the right, people surrounding you. This is not there are many ways to achieve the same thing. Maybe next time I don't need to be on campus 3 times a week. Maybe I can do a hybrid of what I just did. So there's many ways to achieving the same agenda, the same objective. You don't have to get stuck in what you are doing just because you decided or you thought that this way is the best way for you. So over time, I just realized how important it is to identify these energy vampires and take steps to protect myself from them. And honestly, right after I sent that email, I felt like a, a, a brick or a wall was off of my shoulders, and I was smiling again and happy again. So that's how draining that experience was for me. So Dr. Amen's research shows that these negative influences don't just drain our energy, but they can actually damage our brains. Chronic stress, which is a long term of acute stress that you face in something that drains your energy. Negativity and toxic environments can lead to what he calls brain toxicity, affecting our mood. I absolutely saw my mood changed for the worse when I started this course, memory and just overall cognitive functions. So, quitting versus sticking with it. When do you know it's time to quit? Quitting something, like I mentioned from my personal experience, that drained your energy isn't about giving up. It is not about giving up. It's about prioritizing your brain health, your well being, and your energy, your battery. We all have this electrical vibration to us that can be drained. And so as we grow older, we realize that the energy that we give to people or things is tremendously important. So it might be hard at first to quit that thing or that person, but letting go of what doesn't serve you can actually make a huge difference in everything we just mentioned. According to Dr. Daniel Amens, quitting energy drainers is actually essential. He found out that when you remove these negative influences, whatever that might be, the people or the things or the activities, our brains have the chance to heal and function better. It's like clearing away the clutter in your house to make space for what you truly want and what truly matters. So if you're not sure where to start, try tracking how you feel after spending time on certain activities and with certain people. Are you energized? Are you exhausted? With me in that particular course that I took, I kind of felt nauseous, which is not how I feel most of the day. So I knew it's something to be looked at, but only after sitting down with my friend and confiding to her how I feel and listening to the words choices when I expressed my agony over this course allowed me to realize this is me. My soul is crying to change my path. So this simple exercise can be really, really eye-opening. On the flip side, there are things in our lives that challenge us in a good way, activities, relationships, family, or projects that might be tough, but ultimately they help us grow. When it comes to kids and the patience it asks from us as parents, I always look at the kid as a mirror to what it is that I have to work on. So if I'm short with a child, I know that I need to work on myself. I need to work on my patience, and so on and so forth. So take time for yourself. Dr. Amen's research highlights how positive habits like learning new skills, exercising, being in nature, meditating actually improve brain functions. And these activities may require effort, but the rewards are really worth it. When it comes to growth mindset, I'm a huge believer in growth mindset. This idea that we can always learn and improve. That's why I found myself in medical school, having a second career per se, because I want to expand my knowledge. I want to help people. I want to be able to touch as many lives as I can for the better. It's not always easy, but sticking with these growth oriented habits can lead to incredible mental and emotional strength. And I know it's a balancing act, knowing when to quit and when to persist. You have to find that almost like I would say unattainable balance in your life. The key is listening to your body, listening to your brain. And if something consistently leaves you drained, then it might be time to let it go. Or in my case, it might be time to talk to a friend, vent to a friend, and then let it go if that's a decision you come to. But if something that challenges you in a way that feels enriching, then it's worth sticking with. And checking in with yourself regularly. Are you feeling mentally sharp, or are you often fatigued? Like I felt with this particular course that I had so much information in my brain. It was about to literally explode. That's the feeling that I had, like too much. I didn't only put effort 3 times a week I was on campus, but I was putting huge amount of effort and studies the 4 other days that I was not on campus. And since it's not going towards my degree, I was like, no, this thing's got to go. But there have been times when pushing through and staying committed to something that challenged me um, has led to great personal growth. So it's something you have to check in with yourself. Daily practices for brain health to support it can be cutting out the energy drainers and filling that void, that space with energy gainers. Find new friends, find new activities, take a different course that may not put as much demand on you as the other one. Things that lift you up, challenge you in a way to be a better version of yourself and help you grow. Some fantastic resources that I found helpful were brain health assessments and exercises designed to boost cognition and function. These can be great tools for anyone looking to make positive changes. So I really encourage you to take a moment this week and reflect on what might be draining your energy and what activities or relationship help you grow. So make your conscious choice to protect your brain health, to protect your energy, and your future self will thank you. All right, so just to recap, today we've talked about the importance of knowing when to quit something that drains our energy and when to stick with something that helps you grow. And by making these choices, you can support your brain health, you can support your mental health, your body, and live more fulfilling life. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you found this episode helpful. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with anyone who might benefit. I will see you next time. Be well. Bye.